Hello. Hi. How are we? I thought I'd come on tonight impromptu, no warning. So I'm just going to give it a few minutes to let everybody come in because I know that it takes a bit. And plus, this is members only. There's not going to be a ton of you guys come in. I haven't done a live in forever. So you probably going to have a hard time seeing that I'm live streaming. Thought we'd watch a couple of parole hearings tonight. I have a few that are just like random parole hearings that like there's nothing major about them, but they're just interesting to watch. So I thought I'd put those up for you guys. Hey, Laura. Good to see you, Miss Laura. Hey, Darlene. How are you, hun? Darlene, I look at your little picture, your little avatar picture. Is that a poodle? What kind of dog is that? Blanco. He's like, hey, everybody. Everybody. It's been a minute. It has been a minute. Hey, Casey. It's good to see you guys. I'm taking a moment just to kind of let everybody come on because I didn't leave any notice for this live stream. I just decided to just do it. I went with that Nike slogan. Hey, Mark Leach. Who is the scary person? You just stop it, Mark. I'm not taking any of your sass tonight. That's Mr. Barkley. Well, what is Mr. Barkley? Wait, hang on, Darlene. Good. A poodle terrier. I knew it was a poodle. I knew it, Darlene. I kept looking at it thinking, that's got to be a poodle. All right, so we got at least 13 in here right now, so I'll go ahead and start this. I thought we would do let's watch some random parole hearings that, none of these are like outstanding parole hearings. They're just general parole hearings, but they're interesting to watch. And so I thought we would watch a couple of these randoms together. How about that? And then I'm working on another a marathon for the Brooks at some point this week. I'll put that out. So I do appreciate you guys coming in and being here with me tonight. Let's get to it.
C number for the record.
Nathaniel McDaniels, 379-022.
All right, Nathaniel, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Mr. Pete Freeman and Mr. Tony Maribel will be your panel. Ask them questions. You can respond. At the end, you can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Looks like we have Mr. Darrell Miles again. Will make a brief statement. Kelly Orens, Liam Zaya. Does that sound right? We got two attorneys. I mean, you got you some attorneys. All right. Nathaniel McDaniel, DOC number 379-022. You're a fifth class offender. Parole eligibility date 12/29/2017. Good time 4/18/2028. Full term 3/29/2029. You're a 15-year sentence. Simple burglary, habitual offender, and conviction on unauthorized entry of a business. Simple burglary, 7 counts. Looks like you were revoked in 2015. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You want to answer Mr. Maribel's questions, please?
Mr. McDaniel, how old are you, sir?
I'm 47.
And how long have you been in on this 15-year sentence?
I want to say 9 years and 4 months.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about why you're in jail.
Okay, I just want to say something really quick. It blows my mind that people that commit burglary, that people that commit burglary are in jail longer than people that commit murder. What is up with that? What is wrong with our system, people? Hey, Brenda Johnson, welcome in. Moderator. Oh yeah, Laura got promoted. Bless her little stinking heart, to moderator. Okay, I'll keep going.
You're in jail on a couple of burglaries. I mean, you've got a pretty significant criminal history. And I think it's pretty obvious it's been because of drugs. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me about your drug use. When did you start using drugs?
I started using crack cocaine when at the age of 15.
Okay. And how often were you using back in 2000?
Basically every day.
And in the last probably 30 plus years, you've been arrested 20 times, theft, possession of cocaine, multiple burglaries, DWIs, public drunkenness, all of those things. About how long do you anticipate that you've been in prison your entire life? How many years?
I want to say maybe 32, 33 years.
32, 33 years of 47 years in prison?
Yes, sir.
You know what's sad is that some of these people, they've been in prison for so long that they consider that their home. And then when it's time for them to get out, they don't know how to cope in real society because everything's, well, especially, can you imagine those people that go into prison and then they come out and like they've never even seen a cell phone or something? Anything like that? Hey, Patty, good to see you, honey. I haven't seen you in a long time.
So let's talk a little bit about your drug use. You since you've been back in, you've taken some programs. You've taken Living in Balance 1 and 2, Thinking for Change, Pre-Release, Anger Management, Victim Awareness. You've done some good things while you've been in prison this last time. Now, see, you've got 2 write-ups. One on April the 5th of 2022 and another one on April 6th of 2022. One was from contraband and the other one was for intoxication. Tell me about those write-ups.
Well, the contraband write-up is I was in a cell in DCI, up in Hunts, HRDC. And during this here time, I got caught with a knife that was in my cell. Me and my cellie was I had a cell at the time. And during that time in Hunts, it's either, it wasn't for me just having it, it was just me honestly protecting myself, because at that time in Hunts, they were just doing random things back there. And I wasn't trying to be a victim of nobody else trying to do me nothing. So that's the only way I could protect myself by the way Hunts was being ran.
What about the intoxication?
Intoxication. Well, due to that intoxication, to be honest with you, I was going through something at that time, and smoking mojo was something that I feel as though that it helped me numb what I was going through, and I just got carried away with it, and I guess I did too much. And
well, it's kind of what drug addicts do. That's what they do, and that's my concern. Tell me if you were released, tell me what your plan to stay sober is. When you get out of prison, you've been in prison by your own calculations, 32 years of 47-year life. You've been in for the last 9 years. The world has changed a whole lot. Hasn't gotten a lot better, if it has gotten better at all. So when you get out, you're going to run into all kinds of problems. So tell me how you're going to be able to stay sober.
Well, first of all, me staying sober is if I'm granted parole, the day I'll be going to first 72 plus, and dealing with first 72 plus, they got all kind of programs set up for you. And they got certain people that I can talk to when a certain time like that come up, or a thought come up like that. I can go to somebody and actually sit down and talk to somebody like I never did have before. So that's AANA, the ongoing drug programs they got for me, doing whatever it is that'll keep me focused, whatever it is that'll keep me focused, keep me on the right path to doing what I'm supposed to do to stay out there and stay sober.
What have you learned your triggers to be? What are your triggers?
My triggers is basically being around the wrong people. Being around the wrong people, because that's just basically what I was doing my whole life, being around the wrong people. I joined the crowd and got lost in it. And I basically wasn't thinking for myself. I was thinking me being around these people that I can get that cool point. And that's something that's what I thought was, that's what I thought was it then.
Tell me about the STEP program that you took at Rayburn.
Excuse me, sir?
Tell me about the AA 12-step program you took at Rayburn.
Well, the 12-step that I come to find out that I have no control over my habits. I'm powerless. And basically I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing without Jesus in my life, because
Tell me the
that's my
program. How long was the program?
The program was 6 weeks.
Okay, so it was an education program.
You broke up, Mr. Mayor.
So it was an educational program. Warden, the program he's talking about,
The
AA
educational
12-step program, that's an educational program?
No, sir. The educational program, when I first got you, I did the test. They put me on backlog.
Well, tell me what have you ever had any long-term substance abuse treatment?
Yes, I did. And when I was in New Orleans, when I was out there, I went to New Orleans General Rehabilitation.
And when was that?
This was in the early 90s.
Okay, well, that obviously didn't work. Have you had any since then? Long-term treatment since then?
No, sir, I did not.
You think you need that?
Yes, I do.
I do too. Okay. I think that's all. Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. McDaniel?
You know, I've known McDaniel for a long time at DCI, and then here since he's been here. You know, he and I spoke earlier in our little pre-parole meeting, and you know, as your concerns was my concerns, looking back through his write-ups and seeing the intoxications through his history of being incarcerated. I can say that since he's been here, he has not had any, which is a good thing. And he's been in the classes, always been respectful to me, and you know, I guess it's going to be what he can do if he gets a chance to get out of here, to be able to stay off and not fall back in that pit.
Thank you, Warden.
All right. Now we're here for Mr. Darrell Miles. Brief statement, Mr. Miles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Miles again, first 72 plus. We have a plan set out for Mr. McDaniels that he will be a prime candidate for. Mr. Daniels, we understand, has a long-term drug addiction problem. And we have the first 72 hours of his release, he'll be seeing the council on alcohol and drug abuse in the greater New Orleans area. From there, Mr. McDaniel will be in a stringent drug program that we have called 9 Steps to Staying Free. In that program, he will have a house curfew of 9 p.m. unless he's working. If he's not working, he'll be in house at 9 p.m. He will also have a round-the-clock coach. He will be able to reach out by phone and have visits with this individual weekly, and by phone he can call that individual anytime he feels the need or he thinks that a trigger is about to take place. He will be randomly drug tested as well, and he will be in life skill training as long as he's in our program. Our program is geared toward him being there for at least 6 months. After that point, housing and employment will definitely be a priority for Mr. McDaniel. So should the board release him today, this decision that you make will not be one you will regret. And
All right, thank you. Thank you. I would, as far as the attorneys, you guys would like to make follow-up statements after his statement? Is that good? Great. Great. Yeah, only one on the phone. We'll hear from Mr. McDaniel. Like to make a brief statement, Mr. McDaniel?
I just want to say, I first off, I would like to apologize to the victims who are property owners who became victims of my actions. I apologize for my criminal past history. I would like to apologize to my family and those who that I hurt. I'm sorry. I hope I can be forgiven for everything I did. For the last 9 years and 4 months, I did change my life and give myself to God, give my life to God, and my habits no longer is a part of me. Just give me a chance now.
All right, thank you. Now we'll hear from, to wrap up, the lawyer, I guess that's student lawyer, Mr. Liam Zaya. Is that who we're here from?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, members of the Committee on Parole. My name is Liam Zaya, and I'm a third-year law student at the University of Virginia School of Law, here to offer a brief statement on behalf of Mr. McDaniel. I begin today by respectfully requesting that you grant Mr. McDaniel's request for parole. There are two key themes in our eyes that emerge that make his case exceptional. First, as we've discussed already, Mr. McDaniel has a robust reentry plan in place, developed in detail with the first 72+. Plan is focused on helping him sustain his sobriety through group support meetings and also intensive outpatient treatment. But it'll also support him in other ways, including by allowing Mr. McDaniel to join a church community, one of his top priorities for his life after prison. And he'll also be connected to counseling and healthcare. From the very first day, and indeed the first hours he's released, Mr. McDaniel will access all of this through the vehicle of first 72+ transitional housing, placing him in a new supportive environment of accountability where he'll be set up to succeed. Briefly, second, and in light of this detailed reentry plan, it's important to recognize the self-directed nature of Mr. McDaniel's transformation for the last 15 months. His decision in recent years to get sober and successfully complete programming on a whole host of subjects has been entirely his own. Indeed, he is carrying himself. The sustained progress that has come from all of this hard work shows how serious Mr. McDaniel is about driving his own transformation and indicates that he knows and realizes that ultimately success is up to him. To conclude here, we believe that granting Mr. McDaniel parole today with his reentry plan already in place will allow him to continue the momentum he's already built up and provide him with an opportunity to rebuild his life. Once again, we respectfully request that you give consideration to the compelling circumstances surrounding his case and grant him the chance to prove himself as a rehabilitated individual.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Wow, that guy was so well spoken. He's like, "Welcome to Louisiana, welcome to the South, dude." I got YouTube lost last week. What? I'm reading y'all's chats. So just in case you guys don't know, I've got the chat set up for members only chat, but I think I'm streaming live to everybody in the world. So, oh well. Hey, Bob Kitten. Oh, you're welcome. I thought I'd get my free memberships to pass out to everybody every month. And here we are at the end of the month. So I don't regret having YouTube Prom at all either, Patty. Mark made a good point about this chick with her name, the he, she. Get over it. Get over it. You're a woman. You're a woman. We got it. We're going to call you Miss Kelly, whatever your last name is. I can't see it very well, but yeah, I'm with you, Mark. I'm so sick of that crap. I am just so over it. He, she. And they started doing that on LinkedIn too. And I was like, I am not doing that. I refuse to add that when I look at that stuff. Like when I'm given the option and I'm filling something out. Okay, let's see. Who else we got here in the chat? Hey, Brenda Johnson says she got 5 months. Hey, Brenda, if you go down to the super chat area, it should let you do a super chat for free. So those of you guys that have been members for a month, you get like a free super chat every month. Just an FYI. All right, I'll keep going.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, panel prepared to vote. Mr. Marabella?
Yes. Mr. McDaniel, in looking at your record, the clear problems that you've had are all drug related. By your own admission, you've been in prison 32 of 47 years of your life. You're a moderate risk. You have serious substance abuse issues. You've had some disciplinary issues recently, one directly related to substance abuse. But since then, you've taken some programs. You've taken some good programs and you've done well. So it looks like you may finally have gotten the light. And that's what it's going to take. I mean, a drug addict is a drug addict forever until they realize they need help and want to do something about it. I just don't think you're quite there yet. I think you need a little more. I think you agreed that you needed some more treatment, some inpatient treatment. So my vote today would be to grant your parole conditionally upon your completing a long-term substance abuse program in the Department of Corrections, primarily Stephen Hoyle. And then and that you get no more disciplinary write-ups. And if you complete that program successfully and you were released, the conditions would be to follow all of the recommendations of Steve Hoyle, to attend at least 3 AA meetings per week, to have random drug samples for the entire time of your parole, and to be on a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's one vote. That's my vote. And Mr. Chairman, that's my vote.
All right, Mr. Freeman.
Due to your disciplinary history, my vote is to deny.
Aw.
Right, you have one vote to deny and one vote to grant. Again, I am concerned about your disciplinary history, but with the comments from the warden, the time you spent, I'm going to vote to grant your parole to the Steve Hall Intensive Substance Abuse Program. You'll have, after you successfully complete that, it'll be three times a week in AAA, curfew 9 p to 6 a, and you'll have random drug screening. You understand? So 2 votes to grant, 1 to deny. You grant to the Steve Hall Intensive Substance Abuse Program. You understand stipulations? You understand where you're going?
Yes, sir.
All right,
That's
2 votes to grant, 1 to deny. Your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Yay.
Thank you.
Good for him.
Thank you.
Yeah, do the infirmary, they gonna.
See, I'm all about giving somebody a chance. I mean, because we all mess up, right? I mean, I know I've messed up in life. I messed up big time in life. So, I mean, everybody deserves a chance. Kimmy's in the house. Lock up your husbands and your boyfriends. How long has he been locked up? He's been in there a while. I forgot how long. Oh, thank you, Miss Kimmy. I learned you can't do it on your phone, but you can actually do it. Oh, you can't do it on a phone. So you can't do super chats on a phone? I didn't know that. Yes, the meat market is open. Yeah, I think now there's some in there, as we know, like old Darrell, where it's like they get too many chances, and it's like, really, y'all just trying to free up space in prison and get because he had a lot, but a lot of his stuff that he had was like minor stuff. But you kind of figure somebody that lives a life like that, eventually they're going to do something really bad. So, all right, let me go to the next one. I've got more. I've just got to pull them up. I'm not very well planned out tonight, just by the way, just so you know. Just so you know. This is an impromptu meeting. Brooksaholics meeting, but there's not a Brooksaholics video. Let's see. What's okay, this is the dad. Okay, so this is the dad who wants to go to
Please
Florida.
introduce yourself, state your name.
And the thing is that his kids come on and everything, but I guess, and I learned something from watching this one. Apparently, when you're granted parole, you have to ask, if you're going to leave and go to a new state, you have to ask that state if you could come, and they could deny you maybe. I don't know. Anyway, listen to this one and tell me if y'all are picking up what I'm picking up the same way.
DOC number for the record. You're on mute.
Am I muted? I know I'm not muted. I'm just kidding.
We're good, thank you.
All right.
Morning, Board. 579-767, sir.
All right, Mr. Gordon, my name is Brendan Kelsey. Along with me is Mr. Tony Marabella. Mr. Pete Freeman will be your panel. Have a parole interview, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
Looks like you got some people here that have a brief statement. Daryl Miles, Dylan Gordon, Leila Gordon. Then you just have people that are here in support, Dawn Gordon and Warden Gordon Jr.
Yes, sir.
Warren Gordon, DOC number 579767. You're a second class offender. Parole eligibility date 9/22/2020. Good time 9/28/2049. Full term 9/23/2050. 40-year sentence. Possession with habitual possession with intent to distribute methamphetamines. Here for a rescind. Is that you were granted? And you're here for a rescind. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
I would you answer Mr. Marvell's questions, please?
Mr. Gordon, how old
Certainly,
are you, sir?
How old am I? 59 years old, sir.
And how long you been in prison?
In October, it'll be 13 years, sir.
You were granted parole on August the 3rd of 2022. Let's talk a little bit about what you've done since then. Have you had any disciplinary write-ups since then?
No, sir.
Have you taken any additional programs? What have you done while you've been, I know you've been waiting to go to Florida, but what have you been doing while you've been in prison since August of 2022?
Since August of 2022, I've basically been trying to find out ways to get addresses into Florida to get approved to get released, sir.
What happened in Florida? Why?
I was in NA ongoing.
I'm sorry, what?
They don't really tell us what happened. They don't really tell us what happened or why they denied us. From what I understand,
It's because your residence wasn't approved.
yeah, yes, sir, yes, sir. I do know that. But I turned in 5 separate residences, and from what I understand, all of them were denied, sir.
Well, that's what I understand. And it appears to me that Florida is not an option for you. So you tell me what your options are. Where would you live if you were to get out?
As of right now, I've contacted the First 72 Plus, which is a program in the New Orleans area that provides living and all sorts of programs that we can do. And I know they'll help me with a job and things to that nature. My plan is to get into truck driving school, sign with a company, get my CDL, and go to work for one of these corporations through the United States, sir. That's my plan.
And
I'm going to probably have to take a.
where would you live, assuming you were
Sorry.
released? Let me finish my question. Where would you live, assuming you're released and you go to First 72 for a while, and then you complete that program, you get your license? Where do you ultimately want to live and reside?
Oh, back in Florida, sir. I
Well,
want to go.
that's a real problem. I mean, they won't take you.
Well, if I have to, sir, I have some friends here in Louisiana. One of them I expect to work temporarily for until I can finish the truck driving school. I'll end up getting me an apartment or a residence here in Louisiana and living and working throughout the state and throughout the country. I would assume it would be a world.
Gordon, let me tell you what I have. Okay, the information that I have from Florida is they denied
Yes.
you. And the reason for the denial was an invalid plan of supervision. And it says the offender has made previous attempts to transfer to the receiving state, Florida, by providing false information. This is not the actions of an inmate who has learned from his past ways of incarceration. Now the offender wants to transfer to an unsecured place. Florida doesn't want you. You're not going to go
Yes,
to
sir.
Florida while you're on supervision. So unless you've got another plan, it's not going to work.
I understand, sir. My plan would be to stay here in the state of Louisiana, like I was explaining. I will get a temporary job until I can finish and get in my CDL license, sign with a company, provide myself with a residence and an apartment, and live on my own, continue to stay in touch with the First 72 and help with provide some assistance to keep me focused on what I need to do, sir.
Gordon, do you have any more
I'm gonna stay in
information?
AA and NA.
Gordon, do you have any information, either about Florida or anything else about, Mr. Gordon that you can tell us?
I've never provided false information.
No, sir. I mean, he and I, we discussed this earlier, and I mean, that was one of my little concerns was what do we do after the 72 in Louisiana? And of course, he told me the same thing that he told y'all is he's going to try to get a job, get some money, and get an apartment. But that's about as solid as he can come up with.
I mean, I have friends that are here that I'm pretty sure one of them's name is Robert Good that will provide me with a place to live at the end of first 72. Whenever I don't even know how long the program is at first 72, but I know that he's been a lifelong friend for almost 40 years. We worked together before I was locked up. So I'm almost 100% positive that he will provide me with a place to live.
All right. That's all.
All right, we'll hear from Daryl Miles. Let's hear from Daryl. Brief statement of first 72. What you got, Daryl?
Okay, good morning. Daryl Miles here from First 72 Plus. Yes, we have a long-term plan for Mr. Gordon, which will entail him having resident in Louisiana. One of our options with people like Mr. Gordon is to get them housing in the New Orleans area. First of all, the first 72 hours of his release, he'll be counseled by the Council of Alcohol and Drug Abuse, which is an organization that we partner with that deals with people that have past dealings with drug addiction. Secondly, we have a house curfew where Mr. Gordon would have to be in-house at 9 p.m. unless he is employed and that employment takes him beyond that 9 p.m. He'll be subject to random drug testing and he'll be in life skill classes continuously. Like I said, regarding his housing, that will take place after our long-term programming, which is 6 months to a year in his case. Within that time, he'll receive a bank account provided by the First 72 Plus, and that will get him started on saving money so he can get an apartment and live comfortably in New Orleans. We understand that he's going to have to work to pay his parole fees and everything. So all of that assistance will be given to him once he starts in our program. So we have a long-term plan set out for Mr. Gordon. I've spoke with his family on that. I've expressed to them that the possibility of him returning to Florida may not happen, but we can ensure that Mr. Gordon will be set up in New Orleans where he can be a functioning citizen, just like the board would like him to be should they grant him parole today.
All right,
thank you.
All right. Thanks. So you're saying you got housing for him from 6 months to a year. That's what you say,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have housing for him 6 months to a year. And within that time frame, that would give him
Correct.
Right.
time to
right.
save money
Right.
for his apartment.
All right. Thank you. We'll hear from Dylan Gordon now. Brief statement from Dylan.
Hello, my name is Dylan, and so oh my God, sorry.
This is his son.
That's Florida. All right. Go ahead.
Sorry. So my name's Dylan, and of course that's my father. But we tried getting him with a sober living house over here, and the parole officer or whatever, whoever it is, the probation officer, said that she would show up, and she never showed up or did anything to even try to get him approved for over here. And I thought that was pretty messed up on her end, but that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll hear from Miss Leila Gordon. Okay.
Don't think Leah's there. She was. She's not
That's the
anymore.
daughter.
Let's go ahead and make a statement. Can you, got your,
Get off
can't
mute.
hear you.
Can you hear
Okay,
me now?
we can.
Okay. What? Pretty much what my brother was trying to say was, the parole officer went to my older brother's nana's, his aunt, my mom's, and then the parole officer was supposed to go to Miss Maggie's, which is the halfway house. And she never ended up going. Sorry.
Bless her heart.
And I just feel like if he went, I just feel like my dad would have had a chance to come to Florida. And he would have been home for my graduation. But the parole officer never went to the halfway house. And she said she did. But when my mom talked to Miss Maggie said that she didn't go.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments. Thank you. All right, Mr. Gordon, would you like to make a statement you have?
Yes, sir. I feel, sir, that given the opportunity to be released on parole today, I'm not going to let myself down, my family down, because those are the ones I hurt most as I sit here and watch them on this camera. And I know that getting into this first 72 and given housing for 6 months to a year and the backing that they're going to give me and the opportunity to work, save money, be able to get my own place. I'm 59 years old. I've always been responsible in my life. I make a lot of wrong decisions. I will not lie about that. I've owned my own business since 1994 until I was locked up in 2010. It was a successful business. I just made the wrong choices in life. I think that I've learned my lesson after these 13 years. I think I've also grown older and wiser. And given the opportunity, I think that I will be a productive member of society, sir. I would greatly appreciate that opportunity. Thank you all. Thank you for your time.
Okay, great. Panel prepared to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Marabella.
All right, Mr. Gordon, little has changed since you were here back in August of last year, except you can't go to Florida.
Yes, sir.
It's, my vote today would be to grant conditionally upon your having an approved residence by probation and parole. And specifically to go to the first 72 for at least up to a year or until you get permanent housing approved by probation and parole. I don't know if you'll ever be able to go to Florida. I mean, you could make whatever efforts through the Office of Probation and Parole to attempt to get ICOTS to Florida after you're out, and maybe that would work. But I need to caution you, unless you get that, you can't be moving to Florida. You understand that?
Oh,
I wonder if that's his brother on the bottom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
I'll just make my life here in Louisiana.
with the same conditions as were applied back in August, and that is 2 AA meetings per week, a prohibition from working in bars or restaurants in 4 hours of community service work. So good luck to you, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Freeman?
Look at the guy on
I
the bottom.
concur. I vote to grant. As far as the interstate compact, I worked with probation and parole for a long time. They're not gonna grant it to a halfway house. If you would put down one of your family members' residence,
Yes,
they would grant it. So obviously what happened was y'all probably put down a family member and then they said, no, he's going to a halfway house. And they're not gonna accept someone to a halfway house.
okay, thank you, sir.
So I would go to the first 72, do my 6 months, and I'd reapply to Florida with a permanent address, no treatment facility.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that information. I appreciate that, sir.
All right, 2 votes to grant your parole. Also, I'm going to vote to grant your parole for the same reasons as stated. You'll have NAA 2 times a week. You can't work in bars or restaurants. You'll have 4 hours community service. And you'll go to the first 72. So you get permanent residence or you get moved back, get back to Florida. 3 votes to grant. Your parole's been granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it very much.
Look at the guy on the bottom.
You'll need to go to
I bet that's his brother, y'all.
I gotta get another one. What's that?
McDaniel.
I bet that was his brother on the bottom that was doing all the rocking and getting all excited. All right, y'all. I'm hungry. I gotta go get me some dinner. It's 8:15 here and I haven't eaten yet. It's been so nice catching up with y'all. I really appreciate you being here with me. What's on the oh yeah, I did make some notes. I wanted to say everybody pray for what's going on over in Monroe, Michigan, where Patty's from. There's I don't know if you guys saw it. I'm sure you did. It was on the news. I guess that lady that ran into that warehouse or the boat area or wherever that was, they were having a children's party and 2 siblings were died from it. And they were babies, weren't they? So keep them in your prayers. And I guess from what I'm seeing now, she's going to be charged with DUI. When I first saw it, I thought, oh, I bet that's like an older person had a seizure or something and they lost control. Oh, she's got to live with what she did too. Not just that, not just that she's going to go to jail for the DUI, she lived with what she did. And especially a woman, I hope she gets it embedded in her head what she did to that family. I also want to thank Barbara for gifting 5 memberships. You rock. Thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Lenny, for becoming a new member. And thank you, Miss Patty, for being a member for 6 whole months. How do you put up with me for 6 whole months, Patty? Yes, the babies, Patty said the babies that died were 5 and 8, and the mom and brother are critical. Oh, I didn't know the mom and the brother are critical too. Oh my gosh. That is horrible. Hey, Bama, you're late. Good to see you anyway. You caught us on the tail end of this one. All right, guys. Well, y'all be good. And I got another video dropping. It's a parole hearing. It's kind of interesting, actually. It's going to be dropping in the morning. And then I don't know what I'm going to do for tomorrow night yet. I haven't decided. Might be the only one I do. All right. I love you guys. Y'all be safe. Have a blessed evening. And I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.